I've been called a creature of habit, and I'll be honest, I take that as a compliment. Because habits, when chosen with intention, don't limit you, they build you. Most people think habits are small things, something you do without thinking, something automatic. And while that's true on the surface, what often gets missed is your habits are shaping you every single day. Not in big dramatic moments, but in quiet, repeated actions. It's the time you wake up, the way you start your morning, whether you follow through or make excuses, whether you do what's required or only what feels easy. These moments seem small, but they add up, and over time they begin to form something much bigger than a routine. They form your identity. People often look at someone who's disciplined, consistent, and focused, and assume that's just who they are. Like they were built that way, like it came naturally. Well, it didn't. Before the identity comes the habit. Before someone becomes disciplined, they choose to do something difficult over and over again. Before someone becomes consistent, they decide to show up, especially when they don't feel like it. That's the part most people don't see. Habits aren't formed when you're motivated. They're formed when you're tired, distracted, or not in the mood, and you choose to act anyways. That's where discipline lives. For me, being a creature of habit isn't about doing the same thing just for the sake of it. It's about creating structure that supports who I want to become. It's about removing the daily debate, because if every action becomes a decision, it's easy to talk yourself out of it. But when something becomes a habit, the decision is already made. You just do it. You train because that's what you do. You show up because that's who you are. You follow through because you've done it too many times to break the pattern now. That's where repetition becomes powerful. Not exciting, not flashy, just consistent. And over time, something starts to shift. The actions that once felt forced begin to feel natural. The effort that once felt heavy begins to feel normal. The person you were trying to become starts to feel like who you've always been. That's how identity is built. Not through one big moment, but through hundreds of small ones. This is also where many people get it wrong. They wait to feel ready. They wait for motivation. They wait for the right time. But habits don't wait. They're built in the middle of real life, when things are busy, when energy is low, when distractions are everywhere. That's when the work matters most. Because every time you follow through in those moments, you're reinforcing something deeper than the action itself. You're reinforcing who you are. And the opposite is true as well. Every time you choose to skip, delay, or avoid, you're also building a pattern, one that moves you further away from the person you say you want to be. That's why habits matter. Not because of who they are, but because of what they create. So yes, I'll wear that label proudly. A creature of habit, because I understand something that took time to learn. You don't become disciplined first and then build habits. You build habits, and discipline is what they leave behind. And if you stay with them long enough, through the good days and the difficult ones, something quiet but powerful happens. You stop trying to become that person and realize you already are. Emotional fatigue doesn't appear loudly, doesn't always come with tears or collapse. More often it shows up as numbness, a dull heaviness, a quiet sense that everything takes more effort than it should. People still show up, still function, still do what's required, but something inside feels worn thin. This kind of fatigue builds slowly. It comes from carrying too much for too long without release, from holding responsibility, expectations, worry, and uncertainty day after day, from being the one who stays steady while life keeps applying pressure. Eventually, even strong people reach a point where their emotional reserves are depleted. What makes emotional fatigue difficult to recognize is how normal it's become. Many live in a constant state of alertness, managing work, relationships, finances, family, and the unseen weight of modern life. There is rarely a clean pause, rarely a true exhale. The nervous system stays switched on, and the mind never fully rests. Over time, this creates exhaustion that sleep alone cannot fix. Emotional fatigue also comes from suppression, from pushing feelings aside because there isn't time to deal with them, from staying composed when things hurt, from telling yourself it's not that bad or that others have it worse. Emotions don't disappear when ignored, they linger quietly, draining energy in the background. When emotional fatigue sets in, joy becomes muted. Motivation fades, small inconveniences feel overwhelming, and patience shortens. People may feel disconnected from things they once cared about and unsure why. This can be confusing and even frightening, but it's not a sign of weakness. It's a signal that something has been carried alone for too long. Recovery doesn't begin with fixing everything. It begins with permission. It's permission to acknowledge exhaustion without guilt, to admit that being fine has come at a cost. Emotional fatigue requires honesty, not just with others, but with yourself. Rest in this context is deeper than sleep. It's emotional rest, space where you are not performing, producing, or proving, moments where you can feel without correcting, judging, or rushing through the experience. This kind of rest is uncomfortable at first because it removes distraction, but it's necessary. Another part of healing emotional fatigue is recalibrating boundaries. Not everything deserves equal access to your energy. Not every problem is yours to solve. Learning where to conserve emotional effort is not selfish, it's sustainable. Energy preserved allows you to show up where it truly matters. Emotional fatigue also asks for gentler self-talk. When energy is low, people often criticize themselves for not being more motivated, more positive, more capable. This only deepens exhaustion. Compassion restores what pressure depletes. Kindness towards yourself is not indulgence, it's repair. As emotional energy slowly returns, clarity follows. Feelings become easier to name. Decisions feel less heavy. Life regains dimension. The goal is not to eliminate fatigue entirely. Life will always bring challenges. The goal is to recognize early signals and respond with care rather than endurance. Emotional fatigue is not a personal failure. It's a human response to prolonged demand. Listening to it is not quitting, it's adjusting. Sometimes the strongest thing a person could do is stop pushing and start restoring. And in that restoration, energy returns. Quietly, steadily, and honestly. Many people set goals with genuine intention. They want to improve their health, strengthen their mindset, build a business, deepen a relationship, or create a life they feel proud of. The desire is real. The hope is sincere. But when the time comes to take action, many find themselves stuck at the starting line. Not because they lack ambition and not because they lack potential, but because they simply don't know what to do next. This uncertainty leads to hesitation, then second guessing, and then frustration. And before long, the goal they once felt inspired to start feels overwhelming. It becomes easier to say, I don't know where to begin, than to admit something else, that the path already exists and guidance is available. The truth is, almost anything worth doing has been done before. The path might not be identical, but the patterns are there. People have succeeded in every field, overcome every challenge, and navigated every type of uncertainty. And the lessons they learned along the way are out in the open for anyone willing to study them. Books, courses, mentors, coaches, role models, stories. Each one is a blueprint waiting to be used. Success doesn't require guessing. It doesn't require reinventing the wheel. It requires learning from those who walked the road before you and allowing their experience to shorten your learning curve. This is not about copying someone else's life. It's about understanding the principles that consistently lead to growth. Every mentor, every successful individual, every person who has changed their life has followed certain fundamentals: discipline, patience, consistency, humility, and the willingness to learn. These principles are timeless because they work. They don't belong to any specific industry or generation. They're simply the foundations of progress. When you learn from others, you gain something priceless: clarity. The fog of uncertainty begins to lift. You start to see that your obstacles are not unique, and your challenges are not impossible. You begin to recognize patterns in the stories of people who've struggled, adapted, and eventually succeeded. Their journey becomes a map you can use, not to eliminate difficulty, but to navigate it with confidence. And yet many people avoid this step. They believe they should figure everything out alone. Others fear asking questions or reaching out for help. Some think learning from others somehow diminishes their independence. But seeking guidance is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of maturity. It shows a willingness to grow, to stay open-minded, and to learn from wisdom earned through experience. When you allow mentors and proven paths to guide your next steps, you carry less weight. You don't spend months stuck in trial and error. You don't waste energy on guesswork. Instead, you move forward with a sense of direction and purpose. The journey becomes less confusing and far more achievable. Learning from others does not replace your personal effort. It strengthens it. It gives you tools, insights, and strategies that you can adapt to your own life. It reminds you that you're not walking alone. It reinforces the truth that success in any form is not a mystery. It's a process. When you're standing at the edge of a goal feeling unsure of what to do next, you don't need to abandon the dream. You need guidance. You need models. You need examples of people who've already walked through what you're walking through. Their lessons can become your foundation. So use the knowledge available to you. Learn from those who came before you. Study their habits, their failures, their resilience, their willingness to keep going. Not because you need to become them, but because their path can illuminate your own. Every journey becomes more possible when you stop walking it blind. Follow the examples, apply the lessons, let their wisdom give you clarity, and then take the next step, your step, with confidence. We've all had moments where life knocks us down. Maybe it's the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, a mistake you can't take back, or a dream that slips through your fingers. In those moments, it can feel like the world has burned down around you, like everything you worked for is gone, and you're left with nothing but the ashes. But those ashes are not the end, they are the beginning. There's a reason the symbol of the phoenix has lasted for centuries, because it represents a truth that every single one of us needs to hear. Failure, pain, and loss are not your destruction. They're your rebirth. The fire you're in is burning away what no longer serves you. It's clearing out old habits, old beliefs, old versions of yourself that you've outgrown. And yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels unfair. But it's also preparing you for something stronger, something greater. The phoenix rises not in spite of the ashes, but because of them. There have been times in your life when you've fallen before. You thought you couldn't get back up. You thought you were finished. Yet somehow you did get back up. Maybe it took weeks or years, but you rose, and when you did, You weren't the same. You were stronger, tougher, and more resilient. That's the phoenix within you. It's the part of you that refuses to quit. It's the whisper inside that says, keep going. Rising doesn't mean you come back overnight, wings blazing. Sometimes it's one small step at a time. Sometimes it's learning to breathe again. Sometimes it's just getting out of bed when everything in you says stay down. But each step forward is proof that you can and are rebuilding. Falling does not define you, rising does. Every time you rise from the ashes of your own setbacks, you build resilience. You build courage and character. The people who rise are not the ones who never fall, they're the ones who choose not to stay down. When life knocks you down, you get to decide if this is the end of your story or the beginning of a new one. You can let the ashes bury you, or you can use them as the foundation for something new. The phoenix within you doesn't wait for the perfect time, doesn't wait for permission. It rises because that's its nature. If you're stuck in the ashes of yesterday, remember, you're not broken. You are becoming. This is a chance to rise, not just to who you were before, but who you're always meant to be. The fall may have scarred you. The fire may have tested you, but the phoenix within is ready. It's waiting for you to stand, to lift your head, to take the first step back into life. And when you do, you'll discover that everything you thought would break you is what made you unstoppable. I think we all want to live a long, full life. But the truth is, longevity isn't just about luck or genetics. It's about the choices that you make day in and day out that either add years to your life or quietly take them away. Think of your life like a bank account. Every healthy choice is like making a deposit, and every harmful choice is like taking a withdrawal. Over time, those deposits start to add up, and when you make enough of them, you're not just living longer, you're living better. Longevity isn't just about being alive at 90. It's about being vibrant at 90. It's about having the energy to travel or to play with your grandkids or to chase a dream that you still have. And the best part is you don't have to turn your life upside down. Small, consistent actions have the biggest impact. Start with your fuel. Think of your body as a machine. Even the best machines will break down if they're fed junk. So think of more whole foods, more vegetables, more water, and less processed foods. It's not about perfection, it's about patterns. If most of your meals are nourishing, your body will thank you in the long run. Next, think about movement, because our bodies were made to move, not just in the gym, but every single day. Think of the little things like stretching in the morning, going for a walk after dinner, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator. You don't need a six-pack to be healthy, but you just need to stay active long enough to remind the muscles, the joints in our heart what they're here to do. Then there's rest. You can eat all the kale there is, you can walk all the miles you want, but if you're living in a constant state of exhaustion, your body is quietly burning out. Sleep is when the body repairs, it rebuilds and resets. Protect it, guard it like it's gold, because it is. And let's not forget about stress, because chronic stress is one of the fastest ways to shorten your lifespan. And I know that we can't eliminate stress altogether, that is not reality, but we can learn how to manage it. Breathe deeper. Say no to things that drain you. Laugh more. Spend time with people who uplift you rather than bring you down. And finally, wake up with a little bit of purpose. The people who live the longest aren't just healthy in body, they're healthy in mind. They wake up with something to look forward to. Maybe it's a project, maybe it's volunteering, maybe it's learning something new. Purpose keeps your mind sharp and your spirit alive. Here's the thing, longevity is a daily choice. It's not a someday goal. It's choosing water over soda. It's walking instead of sitting still for hours. It's going to bed early instead of scrolling late into the night. All of these things start to stack up. You don't have to overhaul everything all at once. Pick one thing, add an extra glass of water, add 10 minutes to your walk, go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Let one win start to create momentum, and then stack the next win on top of that. A long, healthy life isn't built in one moment. It's literally built in the thousands of choices you're making. So ask yourself, what choice can I make today that my future self will thank me for? Your future isn't waiting for some big, dramatic transformation. It's being shaped today by the small choices that you're making. And the sooner you start making better choices, the more life you'll get to live. Not just in years, but in quality. Longevity isn't about counting days. It's about making your days count. And that starts right now. You say you'd do anything for your kids. You'd fight for them, protect them, stay up all night when they're sick, work yourself to the bone so they never go without. But let me ask you something. Will you drink more water? Will you get enough sleep? Will you put your phone down and go for a walk? Will you stop eating food that steals your energy? Will you move your body and exercise so you don't burn out by 2 p.m.? Will you do those things? Because doing anything doesn't just mean the big sacrifices. It means the small, daily disciplines that no one claps for. But your kids notice. They see everything. The way you talk about yourself, the way you handle stress, the way you treat your body, the way you show up when things get hard. You're not just raising kids, you're shaping the definition of normal for someone else's life. Your energy affects them. Your mood affects them. Your habits affect them too. So when you say, I don't have time to take care of myself, what they hear is, being a parent means falling apart slowly and calling it love. But what if you showed them something better? What if you taught them that love includes self-respect? That taking care of others starts with taking care of yourself? What if you became the living, breathing example of balance, health, patience, and strength? Because your kids don't need a perfect parent, they need a present one, a healthy one with enough emotional bandwidth to listen and enough physical energy to show up. And I know it's not easy. You're tired. You've got work, chores, bills, and expectations. But you're not doing this instead of being a parent. You're doing this because you are one. Wake up a little earlier. Stretch while the coffee brews. Go for a walk instead of scrolling. Eat food that fuels you, not numbs you. Set boundaries. Say no to what drains you and yes to what builds you. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about returning to who you are when you're not stretched too thin. That version of you, the one who feels strong, steady, clear-minded, that's who your kids deserve. And that's what you deserve too. You don't need to be a fitness model. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be honest. If you say you do anything for them, then do the hard thing for you. The thing that doesn't get posted, the thing that no one else may see. Heal, grow, move, breathe. Speak kindly to yourself. Sleep, hydrate, fuel your body. Protect your peace. Do the things that give your children more of you, not just what's left of you. Because when your child looks back one day, they won't just remember the toys or the bedtime stories. They'll remember how you carried yourself. They'll remember what love looked like in action. And they'll learn to love themselves the same way. You say you'd do anything for your kids? Do this.